Hey, how you getting on? Today on 13 Reasons Why I Should Take Guitar Lessons, I'm checking out the Amperian speakers Revolution 65. Right, you may not have heard of Amperian yet, but it's a fairly new company. It's the sister company to Warehouse Guitar Speakers. And they sent me this speaker along with another one last year, in fact, and it spent months in the UPS torture facility of doom in Cologne in customs hell. But yeah, they got here eventually, and this is the first one of the speakers I want to try out. The Amperian speakers are all original designs, and I think that's a good idea because I think that image is kind of holding Warehouse Guitar Speakers back a little bit. That's just my personal opinion. Like, this is our version of the Vintage 30 of the greenback. Even though the speakers are really so much more, I think they're deserving of more recognition. I'm all the more stoked that they're going this route with Amperian speakers. This is the Revolution 65, 70 Hz speaker, 65 watts. Also interesting, notice here, it's a vented design. Also, nice cork gasket. It's a little thinner than the gaskets are on the Warehouse Guitar Speakers. They're really thick and sometimes I have trouble actually getting them into the Marshall cabs because the bolts are too short. But anyway, so what am I doing today? First of all, I botched this part of explaining my process, even though I've filmed it about 40 different times at this point. I demo speakers this way. The speaker I'm testing goes on this side of our Marshall 1960 AV cab, next to a Vintage 30 from late 2024, and nice and smooth sounding, very little going on in the 5 to 6 kilohertz area, making it sound kind of like the early 2000s Vintage 30s. Then I play a few riffs through one of the several guitar amps behind me here. Both speakers get mic'd up with Shure SM57s, and I switch back and forth between the speakers or the mics in post and editing, so that you can have a reference to judge the speaker I'm testing by. The Vintage 30 gets mic'd up with a Shure SM57 in a sweet spot where the dust cap meets the cone that's about here in this cabinet, and the speaker I'm demoing gets mic'd up in the exact same mic position at first. That's the reference position. But if the speaker I'm demoing, as I've said a million times already today, has a different sweet spot to my ears, I move the SM57 to that position later on in the video, thus providing you with an apples to apples comparison and showing the speaker from its best side according to my ears. To further help you assess if that speaker is for you, I provide you with some free IRs to do your testing at home, one for the Vintage 30, and however many mic positions I use for the speaker I'm demoing, you get IRs for those mic positions. And if you like those IRs, I put IR packs for all the speakers I demo on my Patreon. You might want to check that out as well. So does the Revolution 65 have a different sweet spot? I don't really know, to be honest. I had the hardest time deciding that, so I'm not going to call it sweet spot position in this video. I'm just going to call it the alternative position because I think both the reference position, so same position as the Vintage 30, sounded nice, as did slightly further outside from the center of the speaker. To demonstrate the room sounds of the speakers to you, I also reamp one of my riffs through one of my amps into an Engel 1x12, one with the Vintage 30 and one with the Revolution 65. I mic'd up the room with a pair of Sennheiser MKH 8020s, seriously nice microphones, just to give you an impression of the room size as well. And at the end, I wax poetic a bit about my impression, so meet me back at the end if you want to. Yeah, so I need to put the speakers inside of the cab and get going. So on paper, I'm ready to go, but it just occurred to me that thanks to stupid adult life and my stupid real job, I haven't played guitar properly in over a month, and as a result, I've forgotten every riff I've ever played. I'm sure this is going to go well. Right. So as you're able to hear and see on the graphs, if I've shown them so far, is that the Revolution 65 in this microphone position has a lot more 5 to 6 kilohertz. Yeah, let's see what we can do if we move the mic position slightly further outside, if we can get some high-end roll-off. So, what do we think of the Amperian speakers Revolution 65? Personally, I like it quite a lot. Despite it having a lot more 5 to 6 kilohertz than this vintage 30, and I say that because I personally associate, and I guess a lot of you regular viewers will also associate that with rather unpleasant sounding vintage 30s. But the Revolution 65 seems to leave space elsewhere so that 5 to 6 kilohertz doesn't overpower the sound. Particularly in the lower tunings, I thought it sounded really, really cool. And in the alternative mic position as well, particularly. That's the use of the word particularly twice. I think I need to go to bed, guys. Anyway, yeah, check out the free IRs if you have the means. And if you like those, you might want to consider becoming a Patreon of mine. I'm not sure if I plugged that at the beginning, but that's where I upload IR packs for all the speakers I demo. And now I'm starting to upload shorter IRs as well, because some of you guys with modelers have problems with those. So there's 20 milliseconds and 200 milliseconds IRs up there now. If you want to support me and the channel otherwise, yeah, if you can't buy used, because if you need something, try to find it used first. That's my advice. But if you can't avoid buying new, consider clicking on the affiliate links down below. That helps me out an awful lot. I think that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. So, what do we think of the Amperian speakers? Oh, fucking hell. Ah!